Welcome back to One-on-One with OTUNBA Who on Heritage Television. I'm having a special time and special interview with one of a leading, I would say, a leading man of God, pastor who has excelled, and this is the evidence can be seen all over the world that he has excelled in his calling. He has done very well for himself. He has also done very well for his ministry. He has also been able to bring about social changes, structures that very difficult to, he's still improving on them. But the way things are, as we speak, he has done very well. And he has also shown us that all these are not really for him. His focus has always been the people, his members, and that he has, he's still willing to do more because at his age, he still have a lot of energy. And I say to people, when you get past 70, some people will be very weak, but I also believe that having gone past age of 70, maybe there's still a reason, there's still a purpose to help the people. And my passion has always been the people. So when I run onto this man of God, and he's shown me his documentary evidence, the number of orphanage, the number of drug addicts, the number of people he has helped, the number of NGO he supported, the number of things he still wants to do. And also he has shown me a massive program of transformation, the way to transform Nigeria. So, so I'm welcoming you back again to this second part that I want to continue this discussion with Pastor Dr. Sunday Adelaja.
You are the only one calling me Pastor Dr. Sunday. Just Sunday Adelaja. Or Pastor Sunday Adelaja. Or Dr. Sunday.
Okay.
One of the two.
Well, the thing is, I know you are not into title calling or that kind of thing. But the truth of the matter is,
functionally, maybe a pastor.
Yeah. Well, I will remember that. Pastor Sunday.
Yes, sir.
We have this situation in many African countries where we are yet to establish, apart from one or two exceptions, purposeful leaders, morally imbibed, ready to show vision to his people or her people. Tell me, do you have a role model of a country that you can say, oh, this is what your visions will have been? Which African country do you want us to use as an example? Because I'm going to be vast about all these countries. Do you, or how regular are you in contact with other African countries? Or you are completely detached from Africa? Because you said it, that at least when you first come here, at a point in time, you really like, you don't want to go back to Africa until the last 2 years. I don't know what prompted you. How do you just change your mind?
Well, I had an account, I had, a dream where, God was kind of telling me that I must shift my focus from what I've been doing in Europe to going back to Africa. Yeah, so that's what prompted me. I feel God is directing my path to go back to Africa. But what's my role model? What do I want
do you have any role model in the first place?
Okay, role models, yes, a lot of role models, a lot of them are deceased. But if we are talking about countries, talking about transformation, I was in Rwanda a few years back, and that country was very down. But I've been very impressed by what Kagame has been able to do with that country. So it would be an example that I would like to of what we think we could do and replicate in Africa, in Nigeria. And also another country that I think has really encouraged me that there is hope for Africa is Botswana. So there are two small countries, but Botswana and Rwanda have done very well for their people. And I think if we could emulate them and learn from their experience, like for example, right now, Botswana's standard of living is higher than the UK standard of living. I'm talking about per capita, and it's higher than France. That's per capita. It's one of the highest in the world. That's Botswana. That's a small country in Africa. Many people will never tell you that there is a country in Africa that is doing so well and that is far ahead of a lot of European countries.
Yeah, anybody can do that because you're talking of a very small place that is not. Yeah, but I want you to agree against that because then I can also sit down here and say Nigeria in size maybe 1/4 of California, and California is the 6th largest economy in the world. Question: what do you really want to offer your fatherland? What do you have in mind, and how do you want to go about it?
My first passion is to elevate poverty. Is to make sure, maybe elevate, yeah, is a good word, but not eradicate. So I want to, in my lifetime, I want to be able to make sure that I empower 40 million people. And, people who have been living in abject poverty. Because I know what that means. So it's a long story. So I know what abject poverty means. I started a process like that. I sent $500,000 to Nigeria to start a microfinance bank. People, the thing just disappeared because, that's what happens when you send money and expect money to do the work for you without you being there. So, but I'm not going to make that mistake anymore. I'm not going to send any money down without me being there. So that's why this time I'm going to be moving to Nigeria, and we're not going to be talking about $500,000 anymore. So I want to create a structure whereby anybody that is in need of some small amount of money to be able to start something for themselves and improve their family lives, not to eat, but let's say market women want $20 loan, and we help them to begin to write business plans, and we'll give them that money. We don't expect them to return it, but we'll still train them to return it.
Make it look like you're borrowing them,
So that way we'll be able to we'll plan to be able to reach a few million people that way. There are some quite good microfinance banks that are in Africa that are already in Nigeria that are operational. So either we're going to buy one of those, or we're going to partner with them, or we're going to start our own. But I have a very great burden for the poorest of the poor. But then, apart from that, I'm very particular about the infrastructural development of Nigeria. I want to help, resolve the problem of electricity, and just make people have decent life, just like here in Ukraine. Ukraine is poorer than Nigeria actually, but they have decent living just because of the infrastructure and some order that is in the system. So I want to be able to help introduce that. And you know what? I have a very wide, comprehensive plan of how to make Nigeria better, which is vast. But I could begin to talk about it one by one. But another area that I want to really contribute to Nigeria is in starting technical colleges. I don't want to go and join the bandwagon of pastors starting universities. I think we don't need too much of universities right now. We need colleges that are skill oriented. So I want to be able to make our young men to be skillful, and for that I have a whole myriad of schools that I have in my mind.
At different levels.
Yes, sir.
I still want you to tell our viewers how you're going to do it, because when I look at 57 years of independence, and we have gone through many presidents, governments, and so on and so forth, even though we can discount 38 years of military intervention that have not brought us anywhere. But then again, people say in the democratic settings, we have government that's supposed to be government of the people, by the people, for the people. You're telling me that you want to go back to Nigeria and help Nigerians for the first couple of years, 40 million, you want to elevate, not eradicate, which is fair enough. But how are you going to do it without being in politics?
Okay, I don't want to do politics. The only condition that will ever make me to consider politics is if the whole country will be begging and coming on their, not on their, just saying this, like on their knees, saying, you should be the one. That may be the only thing that will even make me to consider it. Otherwise, I'm far from politics, like the moon is far from the earth. So I don't want to use politics, but I have strategies in place. I've have done this before in Ukraine. In Ukraine, we were able to raise up 3,000 civil society movements. But before you raise civil society movement, you've got to raise the people. So the greatest problem of Nigeria is, the reason I spoke about poverty first is because people are feeling pain. I just want to relieve the pain first. But the real problem that I think is the number one challenge of Nigeria is in renewing the mindset of Nigerians, is in value system. I think the greatest problem we have is in fixing the value system issues of Nigeria. And when you look at Nigeria, that is our greatest way. It's a stinking society today because we lack values. Values have been rubbished. So that's what I want to approach first. I mean, how to do that? I have my own, I have a whole strategy on how to do that. That for me, it's not difficult. It's easy how to fix that. I know how to do it. If you want me to go into details, I can do that. But apart from that value system issue, the way I want to approach Nigerian situation is this. I want to, and I'm already working. So I set up a think tank in Nigeria, one think tank in Nigeria and another one in Washington, D.C. The reason I put together the think tank in Washington, D.C. is because they have an experience. When Europe was destroyed by Second World War, it was America that intervened and helped Europe to come back to our feet. And there's a plan that they call the Marshall Plan. And some of the people who participated in that committee that introduced Marshall Plan to Europe, some of them are still alive. And there is one of those people that he just worked as a consultant at that time, but he had an experience, good understanding of what Marshall Plan is. So he also went ahead to work with Disneyland, and then he did a similar plan just about 20 years ago with China. So we have people in America who have experience in looking holistically at a whole nation and bringing a comprehensive plan of regeneration and moving the country forward. So between the experience of Europe with Marshall Plan and of socialists with human face, like in China, that these people participated in. So we are not talking, that's a political title that Chinese call it, but these people just participated in the economic aspect of it. So I put together a team, and that team, they are working day and night, and they are studying Nigeria, they know every village, every local government, and they are introducing, I have videos in the internet on YouTube of some of them talking of how they are bringing this to pass in Nigeria. But apart from those who are in the diaspora, these Americans, I have another group, think tank in Nigeria, in Lagos, whereby people are also going on food, doing the food work, going from village to village, every local government. How many schools are in every local government? How many hospitals? How many roads? What are the roads that are needed? How many hospitals are needed? How many primary schools are there? How many secondary schools? So that work is already being done, right? And I'm paying them a lot of money to just do this. So I have all the pictures of what is going on in Nigeria. And then my solution is this. I'm going to go to every local government. We're already in every local government. We already know the plans. We already know the problems. But we are going to gather the people in every local government and tell them that we will be initiating 100 projects into every local government. So we are going to
774.
Yeah, 774. Actually, I have 100,000 projects already. 100,000 projects.
That you want to initiate.
In the next 10 years in Nigeria. And we are going to have the money for them. So the problem with Nigeria is that everybody is always relying on the money from the federal government. Everybody is always looking forward to oil money. This one is going to be different. How I'm going to do it, I think God has set me up to be able to do that. But not just money issue. For me, it's not the money issue anymore. It's the issue of structure, understanding, systems. And so we are going to be doing 100 projects in every local government. In total, we are going to be having almost 800,000 projects in the local government. That is, for example, a hospital in every local government, a secondary school, renovation of secondary schools in every local government, renovation of primary schools in every local government, good roads infrastructure in every local government. So all these things in the next 10 years is what we're targeting. So it's going to be a holistic program. By the time we are through, in the whole 60 years, almost 60 years of independence, Nigeria has not embarked on maybe 20% of what we want to do in the next 10 years. In in 60 years we've not done even 10-20% of what we are planning to do.
Wow. And again, some of my guests, as I always said, you are too pro this, you are too pro that, you are too into structure. I'm being carried along, not away, by your plan, especially the structure you just described. Just say that is how you're going to go about it. But I must say that even at that, and I do not want to penalize anybody here, I do not want to go into why was nobody doing that before, another kind of thing. I don't want to go into that because we have different people, different political thinkers that have come and gone, they have different ideas, and they have also generated different systems that you and I are following today. But I must say that there's no way you're going to do this kind of a project that you will not run into the terrain of the biggest problem. I want to limit myself to Nigeria. That's the biggest problem facing us is issue of corruption, because if it has not been issue of corruption, if money is dedicated or devoted for project, it will have been carried out. There won't be any problem. If roads are to be built and no corruption, it will have been built. Schools and many other things, housing, Medicare, hospitals. How are you going to drive past all this when you start this your ambitious project?
Really ambitious. We have thought about that, and the people I'm working with who are foreigners, they are really skeptical and very afraid of Nigeria. So what we have, they actually, it's a whole think tank, put together a system whereby, first of all, from my own side, what we are going to be doing is that we are not just going to be going to the newspapers and saying there is a vacancy for this and this. Okay, let's say there is a vacancy to employ directors, national directors. So 1,000 people came and said they are coming. Those 1,000 people, we don't employ them, we interview them, and we give them our condition. Our condition, first of all, is that they have to go and follow us to the training. So we take them to the mountain, or we take them to the camp. So we have to we have to go and have a retreat with them.
So you have a kind of a boot camp.
Yes, sir. Boot camp.
To scan them.
Yes.
To train them to be arranged to
rearrange their value systems.
Value system.
Yes, sir.
Put orderly arrangement in there.
Yes, sir. And then they have to go through tests, and they have to, there is this lie detector something. So after all that, they have to go through lie detector. Okay, but that is after changing their mind, after giving exams and cross examinations and interviews. So even though we are employing, let's say 100, but all the 1,000 will still be there. The ones that we picked out of maybe let's say 10,000, the best of the best. So, but then values is very important for us. It's not just the skills, but then even if you are weak in values just because you don't know them, but the training will get you to a place whereby if your heart is right fundamentally, you'll be able to embrace those things. Then eventually, out of these top people we have picked, then they still have to go through lie detectors, and we'll be able to know where. And then money will not be we will not be using money from Nigeria as such. This money we'll be using, we have set up, maybe I didn't need to say this, but we have some places in the world, like offshore, that we have set up in the Caribbean just for releasing funds for Nigeria. So they are not going to be run by Nigerians. So Nigerians are going to be managing only a limited amount of money by their responsibilities and their functionalities. So
you only call for the money when you need it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Not that you're going to ask for
just pay for the contract.
Okay. Not that you're going to ask a chunk amount of money.
No, sir.
That will be
distributed.
That will be distributed that can lead to corruptible
practices. That's going to be virtually eliminated.
Because I keep emphasizing on the issue of corruption. I'll just give you examples of what corruption has done to Africa, and it's very sad.
Well, that
it is very sad. More so, I've read some of your books, and I also some of this problem have been dealt extensively in them, and I want to congratulate you on that. The point I'm trying to make here is this is a very, very ambitious program.
Yes, sir.
And I have also reason to believe in you because hardly you find any African leader planning beyond 4 years. So if you say 10 years, and how
No, 10 years is minimum. Every project that we are going to be doing, I'm just saying in 10 years, Nigeria should begin to see the results, but difference. But any project that we are doing, we are targeting that it's going to last 50 years. I'm not going to do anything in Nigeria that's not going to be sustained for the next 50 years. Even when I'm dead, it's going to be there for 50. I'm going to put infrastructure in place for the next 50 years minimum.
So you're doing this for
so
prosperity,
for example,
you're doing this for children of
yes.
children,
No, what I'm saying is that I must not leave Nigeria. I must not be born in Nigeria that goes, if I was born in Nigeria that has its mandate and its its calling in another continent, in Ukraine. I came to Ukraine and I didn't leave Ukraine, and I'm not leaving Ukraine the way I met it. So if I'm now going back to Nigeria, there is no way, believe me sir, there is no way I'm going to leave Nigeria, dead, without changing the whole picture and the whole understanding, the whole, the whole mindset about Nigeria. Nigeria is going to be a new and a changed nation before I die. There is just no way. My driving force is that Nigeria is going to be a different story before I die. It's not going to be the same Nigeria that I met that I'm going to leave. I am going to leave a better Nigeria, a Nigeria that not just my children, that every Nigerian will be proud of. And sir, I beg to tell you that all those people who are watching this thing, they should not be in a hurry to dispatch of their passport, their Nigerian passports. I'm going to tell you that before I leave this world, if not just Nigerians or Nigerians in diaspora, even people from other countries will be struggling to get Nigerian passport. This is going to be a country that is going to be a country that people are going to be proud of again. How is that going to happen? I have the plans. If you want, come over. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let me show you some things. But that Nigeria is not going to remain the same before I leave it. That one is for sure. This Nigeria is going to be a nation of virtue once again, and a country that you are not going to be ashamed of. And you will be looking for the passport of Nigeria. Not because of prophecy. I've heard some men of God say things like that, but they are saying because it's prophecy or because they believe it. I'm not just believing. No, I'm talking of structure. I'm talking of systems. I'm talking of concrete steps that are being put in place to make sure this happens. Okay, what about the parties? They have all talked. I'm not a politician. I don't have anything to gain. I don't need to talk just for talking. I want to give my life for this. And believe me, my life is worth something. And with my life, I've already done something. I've already proven something. So if I'm going to give my life to do this, and I'm taking 2,000 people with me just to go from different countries, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Japan, from Europe, from America, 2,000 people just to help me do this.
Actualize.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I believe you. Again, I'm saying this because of what I've seen, what I've heard, and your track record confirm your plans. So I can also assure you from experience of somebody that lived in Nigeria a little bit, I've been outside also for many years, that the chunk of our people, millions of our people, if you have this kind of plan, I can assure you that they can't just wait to embrace, because they are hungry of a plan like this. So all you need to do is make sure you fulfill, and the way you are saying it, and you said it in front of the camera, that should you not do it, they should call you names.
Yes,
I don't want that to happen. So I want it to be
because
emphasized.
I
want it to be confirmed.
Okay.
To think about it again and look at the camera and say to the people of Nigeria, because I know millions of people are very
in
nice
the next 10 years, not from now, when I'm still in Europe, don't count that one. But once you hear that Pastor Sunday has gotten to Nigeria, from that very first year, you're going to be hearing this. But in between that time, when you hear that Pastor Sunday is in Nigeria, let's say I arrived in Nigeria 2018. From that 2018 to the next 10 years, if you don't begin to be proud of Nigeria, if you don't begin to see visible change in Nigeria, if you don't begin to see this, the stoppage of immigration from Nigeria, if you don't begin to see Nigerians saying, wow, everybody wanted to go to Nigeria, if you don't begin to see credible, tangible change in Nigeria, call me, not just call me names, say that, go and show this video and say, Sunday, this is what you said, shame me. But it's not going to happen, because change is going to be tangible, it's going to be visible, and all of you are going to say, wow, has this happened in our lifetime? Go and store this video recording. Go and say, because I'm talking 10 years. Look at people like Chief Obafe Bawolowo. He had only 6 years, 4 years, 6 years. He had only 6 years to manage the western region of Nigeria, and he had more daunting problems. The reason I'm saying this is because we are so skeptical now. But he had more horrible challenges in his time. It was an uneducated populace. I mean, people were not even in primary school, talk less of. I mean, they only had 400 schools when he became premier. But by the time it was through, he was having over 4,000. He had multiplied in registration. Let's say only 2,000 or something, or 4,000 students were in secondary school. By the time it was through, they were only going to have 1 million people. I mean, this man, he did so many things, and he had limited money. He set up industrial estates. He set up, industries around agriculture, around, all kind of things. He built the first Olympic-sized stadium in Nigeria. He built the first, of that time. It was like, it was like five-star hotel, premier hotel. I mean, he built the first television even before the nation, like France, and half of he built the first television in Africa before half of Europe ever had of television. I mean, and he didn't even have resources. But this time we have more well-educated, populace. We had already exposed Nigerians who are in diaspora. We have people we need a visionary leader that is going to know exactly what he knows and what he wants to do, and that will be able to galvanize the people. That's why I'm even not saying 5 years like him. I'm saying 10 years, and I'm coming after 30 years of living in Europe, seeing and having all kind of experiences, and having done this kind of thing in a communist country that is much more difficult than in a lot of ways than we're in Nigeria. So I know exactly what I'm talking about, and then the money will not be the issue. So you know what?
So you just need people whose mindset,
vision, values, and people. And
like I said, I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to be there for cool. There are going to be plenty of them. The people who are genuinely looking for a visionary leader, is someone who will lead them, tell them what to do, and giving them the hope that they know that three major things are very paramount to an average Nigerian man. And just three things that at least he gets his 3 school and he is able to send his children to school. And if at the end of the day, the one that are in employment now finish his services to the nation or to whatever company, then his salary is going to be paid. I mean, his pension, he'll get his pension. And most importantly, that an arrangement should provide a kind of roof over their head. And I'm also in the know that as we speak, there are different young entrepreneurs who are working very hard to bring all this additional possible support you might need this your massive plan ahead. Because I know of a couple of young entrepreneur Nigerian that has started a building construction training schools and is going places. All these are the aid that can be integrated. And I want to take you back to business of what I've seen through your the transformation agenda.
Yes, sir.
And I went through it, and I was so moved because you did not stop. You had a kind of A to Z plan, right from the grassroots. You're dealing more of the grassroots because these are the people that where the power really normally comes from.
Yes, sir.
And the biggest problem I notice in Africa is they will get the power and they don't give back to them. But the way they're going, I have that in my mind that the support will come. And you also mentioned one thing: money is not going to be an abandoned project. It's not going to be an abandoned project.
We are going to pick up on abandoned projects as well.
Also,
we are going to have a database and inventory of all abandoned projects.
Also,
we are going to begin to negotiate with people
put them
who have them.
Into again,
and see anybody who will allow us to continue.
This is awesome. I also may have also good news for you, and that is judging from the way you are structuring this thing. there may be people, there will be a lot of partnership as you go. Once you start, there will be a lot of people who want to partner with you. Because the only area they are very afraid is, as long as it does not have any political coloration or so, they will allow you to work. Like the country is hungry of that. Now, I want to depart this area of your future ambition about your fatherland. You've given enough, because in that project, again, everything is built into it. I've seen it, I've studied. Socially, you study journalism. I was told that because I remember the chairman of it, the managing director said, that guy is a journalist on his own, he's very straight, so he knows his onions, he's very good at it. And you are not the one that tell me first that you get this distinction in journalism, and you did very well. The University of Ukraine, gave you a special award and all that kind of thing. Did you do anything with journalism?
Yes. I did my journalism in Belarus, Minsk, Belarus, and I finished from there, moved over to Ukraine, and became the first team. We're a team of people that started the first commercial, non-governmental television in Ukraine. So it's called Channel 7, or Ruthenia Television. So I was one of the three people that started that television, the first independent television in the Ukraine. Yeah, so I was practicing journalism and being a TV presenter and a TV host on an independent television station before I, just got a quickening in my heart, that I'm actually called to be a minister. So I had to leave the television station to start the ministry. I was combining it at the beginning stage, but as the church began to grow, I needed to resign from television and move, full-fledged to ministry.
Do you have any hobby?
Did I have or do I have?
Yeah, do you have any hobby?
Presently or in the past?
Yeah, ongoing.
My hobby is writing books. And reading books. I had a gift recently. Once one of my staff went and registered me for Kindle Unlimited. And I have over 10 million books there. So my target right now is to read a book a day. And so 300 books a year. So that's the greatest gift I've been given. To have 10 million books to pick from. I mean, that's like putting you in the midst of money for me. That's the greatest. I could lock myself up and not see anybody, not talk to anybody, just explore those books.
So you don't fall into the category of the people who believe if you have any success story or any secret or anything, if you put it in the book, some of us will not read it. So you shame them. You will read all books.
Yes, I'm going to read as many books as possible. There are 10 million books there, but I'm 50 already, so I'm lagging behind. But if I do 300 books in a year, that will not be bad. But it's not just about the books that I read. I must write 1,000 books before I die.
Amen. Pastor, can I just say Pastor? Would that do?
That's okay.
That's okay. I've been having a swelling time with you. It's my pleasure taking you through my believe that if I speak to you, you're going to speak straightforward and honest and everything.
Yes.
And unless otherwise, I want to ask you, this is also my mentor. Do you have a question you want to ask me? You alluded to something which I think I can say to the world. I'm going to take it on board.
Okay.
The observation of the way heritage is, heritage is just a 4-month-old baby. We started to crawl, and we're looking forward to take it to a higher level. And we're looking forward to also have people who will come up with ideas of how best to build the station. We're presently online, and we also have many presenters, many contents, and I will be discussing this with the board. So, well, look, sometimes you don't see yourself. So people that see you from behind, they can see more, And I want to thank you for that, because the most difficult thing is when you talk about people's behavior, they take it to they get angry. I'm not angry. I can say that for free on behalf of Heritage. We will do everything possible. On behalf of Ben TV, I'm sure there'll be people also watching I participated every Wednesday on Ben TV, and I've been a friend of Ben TV for the last almost 8 years and so on and so forth. I'm sure they will also have to have a look at maybe something.
I'm going to disappoint you though.
Hello, go on.
You are not going to make it. You are going to go back.
Hang on a minute. Don't let us make it tougher than it before. Because the thing is, I don't because when a pastor, a pastor is supposed to pray for his followers of people that believe in. No, we need your prayer. Why did you say that?
Oh, now you are talking.
Because I remember it's not school. You are not going to be the one to cause us, but what?
Yes, it's about what? Yeah, so you are not going to be able to do it. You are going to go back, and I believe you that you are going to raise this question with Heritage TV.
I would.
Yeah, but Ben, let's just leave that. Ben is already hopeless. The only one that stands any chance.
I don't know anything about that.
So I
must put
very hopeless, because they've been there for 20 years and they have not been able to do anything. So
I think 11 years.
11 years? Yeah, no, it's much more than 11 years. Much more. Yeah. So, but concerning Heritage, you might have an idea, you might want to do something, but you are not going to make it. And I'm going to tell you why.
I just asked, what are we doing wrong and why? How do we do it?
Because I watched through all the programs. I went through all the programs in Heritage that are on YouTube, and I see that fundamentally, the people who came together to do that program, to form that Heritage TV, they are not thinking big. They are just thinking about maximum, reaching out to diaspora, Nigerian diaspora, the maximum maybe the African Caribbean mindset. That's what they have in their head. And those people that are there, they don't see themselves as English people. They see themselves as Africans. And secondly, they fundamentally, you could see the philosophy. The reason I say you not make it is that you don't have the right philosophy. No vision to take over England. No vision to take over the United Kingdom. No vision to get the Queen to watch your program. No vision to get the Prince to watch your program. No vision to get every white person to get your program. Every black Caribbean person to watch your program. Every African to get your program. No vision to compete with Sky TV. Mm-hmm. No vision to compete with BBC. No vision to be better than Sky. No vision to be better than BBC. They are time wasters. They just want to make a living and to have somebody applauding them, a few million black people, and they would think they are successful. For me, that is a failure. But they don't even think in that sense of what I'm talking about. So they are not. They will listen to you, but they will do their best. They will just do their best to be the best among black people. That's all. I'm sorry.
Pastor Sunday, if you get a phone call, do not be surprised. Pick the call and be ready. Again, I'm so happy being with you, and I must also say that these are the things that we lack. I have grown up to fulfill the 20 scores and 10 years, but I'm still hoping to put more. I'm learning every day. I want to continue learning until the day I die. And there's no limits, there's no parameter as to whom I can learn from. If my daughter, this interview is dedicated to her. She turned 15 years today. Ooh. And she would turn around and say, Daddy, that's not how to do it.
Yes.
And I've always
she stands a good chance.
Yes. And I've always been there. I still stand a good chance because I am not closing the border of my thinking. My mind is still wide open like a big antenna. I'm still receiving, and I still want to give where possible. So genuinely and honestly,
if you go to a TV station and you are putting some other people with some dress like that, you are locking out the Asians, you are locking out the Indians, you are locking out the Somalians, you are locking out even other Africans, South Africans, you are locking out even the Ghanaians, it's set to fail, that heritage. Fail in my own definition of success. But they are going to be successful in the Nigerian definition of success. But for me, these are just time wasters. People like that, they will die, and they will, well, is the owner. and all Nigerians will gather around the corpse and say, oh, it was the best Nigerian, the first Nigerian to do television. That's what they will do. But when I die, the whole world will be saying, the first person in the world to do anything. But so that is the difference.
I want you to give me, on behalf of Heritage, your word that if we need advice, because you just said it to the whole world that you are willing to help everybody, and now you just spotted that the station is not putting up the best, and well, then I can say, yes, I'm going to take all this criticism. I'm taking all this criticism on board. I'm willing to go to them and praise them and say, you know what? Well, we have to either to do it or we die. And this is the way to go about it. And they watch me because it's my program, and they're going to say, okay. So what do we do?
Let me tell you another
Please,
problem. Another problem is
yes.
that right now your television station is focusing on survival, and because you're focusing on survival, making a living, getting little there, that is the state. Anybody that is focusing on survival will never get to leave. You will always struggle. And because you are focusing on survival, you are not talking about leadership. You are not talking about taking others to the promised land. And so a lot of challenges you have to. That's why I said you don't forget about it. Don't even try. You will try, but you will not make it.
I should not call you. I should not call you. Is that what you're saying?
If you call me, you have to give me a word. Before I give my contribution, you've got to give me your commitment that you will do everything I say. If you don't do that, not everything like everyone, like
I understand.
Yeah, you accept my advice. If you will not do that, I'm wasting my time because I see all the signs of failure. I mean, that's not how to do things in a big way to be successful. But if I begin to come and give people ideas, they must tell me that we will take you serious. Most people who come to talk to me about advising them or helping them, they just want to hear and say, okay, let's see. They think they already know. They think they already are good. Well, that depends on where they're coming from. But when I talk like this, people say you are proud. Okay, that's where you're coming from.
I cannot see that because, like I said, my antenna is so wide, and when I see a subjective and objective criticism, I can identify it. I mean, I think I know it. So if you are saying this, I don't want to lose my position, my slot in Heritage, but I can go back there and say, no, here I come with a constructive criticism. Let us sit down. Let's rearrange, reappraise, redesign, rearrange this. How do we move forward? And by the time
it's possible, though. Let me just now come from another positive perspective.
Really,
if I were to start a television station there in England, it is possible that it's going to be. I mean, the prince and the queen will be asking to get some slots to use. It's possible.
But most people interject today.
I
understand. When do watch Nollywood?
Yeah.
And we do a lot of Nollywood.
Yeah, but that's
she
not,
does.
that's
And
not,
Prince.
you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about that. The whole. I mean, it's going to be just like Sky TV. It's going to be like just anything good anywhere. So that what I'm saying is that it doesn't have to be news, but I'm just saying that it's going to be mainstream. And the reason is because it's actually possible to do that. But philosophy matters, vision matters, and mindset matters.
I agree. What can I say? I just want to use this opportunity again on behalf of this, not alien, about to take off Heritage Television. I want to thank you for giving us.
But you know what? You people, Heritage Television, in a foreign land, you are doing your best in a place where people are not even creative enough to do anything. So kudos to you for that.
Oh, that's a plus. Thank you very much, Pastor Dr. Sunday Adelaja. It's been my pleasure, and I look for you.
You asked if I ask some questions for you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, we see.
Is that off the table?
Do we still? No, do we still have for 5 more minutes or so?
Yeah, there might be more.
Yeah, 3, 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
We have.
bring it on.
Okay, bring it on. People who are watching us will definitely think, but you've been there, OTUNBA. It's not fair on your side to have been in Ukraine for a few days now, or almost for a week, and then not to be telling anybody what your experience has been, or what you have seen, or what you have noticed, or what your observations are. I would like to hear personally.
In my intro, I said the little time I've been here.
That's too little that I'm not, my hunger is not satisfied. That's why I have to ask the question.
But the truth of I cannot, this is not going to be in any form or shape anything fake. This is the truth. The truth is, I arrived in Ukraine Friday evening, and Saturday morning we swung into action, arrested and so on. I was swung into this presentation business. I participated, which for me, I've learned a lot, I've seen a lot, and I started gathering the belief that this, I've come to somebody who has vision, who wants to change things the way it has not been for the last 50-something years in Nigeria. And I also see someone who knows his audience, who knows exactly what is doing. And I've also gone through some of your books. I've also find out that you've done a lot of things by feet. I mean, in such a manner that you've changed so many things here. If time permit me, I have a list of all the things you've done, and they're all visible. They're not just like writing them down. You are, in fact, you're impacted even from the ordinary person on the street, even to the prison yard of this country. You've done so many things. You've created so many things. In fact, even to the public, your participation, your being there during the time of the Orange Revolution here, the story will not be completed without mentioning your ministry, yourself, and so on and so forth. So, for me, there's nothing to hide. And I've also participated in part of your daily broadcast, which I find fantastic. Again, all that for me, people on television will say, OTUNBA will not talk anything less than talking about structure. So the structure already, you've structured me to understand that you are a man of structure, and whatever you want to build on this structure, it's going to be very difficult to fail. So that's what I've seen. I must admit, on only yesterday I was able to drive up with some other people who are here. So I haven't really seen it. I will share this openly. Peeping through the windows of the vehicle, where I saw something that carried me away, that showed me that all the structures, all the architectural structure I've seen in the city, even though inside the car, if this is planned economy that generated that, I don't know what this planned economy is going to bring. And when I was asking a question, I was also asking that there's some also new rebuild, ongoing, and those one are the last 25 years. So for now, that is all I can say, that I've seen positive things that are genuinely positive. They're not packaged. You understand me?
Well, you also, a lot of people who are watching us, they will recognize me more, not even by the church here, but by the new things I started to do, talking about doing live Facebook broadcast. You've been able to witness, in fact,
Yes, I mentioned it. I participated 2 times, and that was the greatest honor for me to have been with a leader, somebody who wants to reach out to millions of people, who want to transform their life, who want to show them that there's more than thinking about little things, but people should set their mind to a bigger picture. They can see, and I was so happy to have been part of that 2 or 3 programs, and I sat on it, as you said. It was, for me, a thing of joy.
But you say you don't go to church, but most of the things that I talk about are related to Christianity, Bible, changing the mindset of people. What's your assessment about, how people will even say, what could even bring together Pastor Sunday, who is a pastor, and somebody who says, I don't go to mosque and I don't go to church? How can we possibly find common language? That is another thing that people will be wondering about.
I think what many people will be adverse to would be if I openly say I am an atheist, and I'm not. I am not an atheist.
Okay.
And I'm happy also, in the course of the program, many people calling that they were going to church 3 times a day. The Muslims were even praying, supposed to be 5 times, they were praying for 20 times a day. Mm-hmm. But because of the type of leadership, the type of result they gotten from that exercise, that, you understand me? They've chosen not to go again.
Yeah.
So they are not really very far from me. What they are now doing with their life, I don't know. But for me to openly say does not mean, and I said also openly that I may believe. I believe in creation.
Yeah, because most people are more accustomed to the fact that pastors are always hanging out around pastors.
Yes, and I also, yes, that's true. And I also want to say this openly, that I feel blessed and feel honored that I have someone who does not put everything around religion. He, Muslim, Hindus or whatever, is accepted and welcome in your ministry. People should be who they are.
Yeah, we have Hindus coming.
Yeah, that's right. What is important to you is people should be seen human, and you are free to welcome everybody. And that's how I feel. Because if I've been,
you feel welcome even though you're not a member of our church?
Now, if I don't feel welcome, if I'm afraid of talking my mind on telling the whole world, because these are recorded. Yeah. If I've said that, oh, I don't go to church, I don't go to mosque, and you said, take him out of this place, that would have given me another thing. Probably I would have been saying something else. So I'm very happy, I'm very proud of a Ukrainian Nigerian Ukrainian who gives other people the opportunity to.
So that could be made to work in Nigeria, because if we embrace each other, Muslim, Christians, people don't go to church.
Yeah, and as
this is an example of that.
That's right, and I said that also that there's so many people out there. Maybe I should have added this question of agitation. And I was also tell you that why all this your project is possible, or your ambition is possible, is realizable, and it can be easily actualized. It's because of that freedom. Because people that succeeded in life, they have the freedom to think. It's the freedom you had to go to university here, that you are not harassed. It was not the issue of you are not being able to pay school fees. It was not the problem of your college was locked for 10 months, or your lecturer have not been paid for 10 months, and all that kind of thing. And you are able to have access to 3 square meals, Medicare, little things that doesn't make you to be immediately a minister or anything. That also has enhanced you, also put you in a better position to think, to realize that, in fact, to getting not to your potentials, but to replicate it. These are the things. So I have no doubt in my mind that all these are going to help your program, and people like me at my age are willing to give my all. I'm willing to be part of the trade. I'm jumping. I've already got my visa. I'm going to going with you. And I also want to use this opportunity that most of the people that have been contacting me, they've been saying, "OTUNBA, when are we leaving?" They are really ready. There are really so many people who genuinely want to be part of this, part of your dream or their dreams, because they aspire to be better in life. And that's more questions, please.
Yes, you've met a few people here while you were here. You've met Adams, you've met my staff, and you've met some just people visiting me. You want to share with us, with the world, your impression about all these different categories, groups of people you've met, individuals.
I wish there was that. I wish I know their names apart from my one.
No, you don't need to mention.
Yes, I know that. I have my reason why I say that. I'll be very honest with you. That's another thing that impressed me. I come into a place where I keep using the word structure. I've seen people working according to plan. There is an organization here, and what is important is the leader that is driving forward. What is driving you? That you are now a kind of a leader that put all this structure in place, and they are all working clockwise. Because I've seen situations since I've been here that you are not around, and the people that are supposed to do this and do that, they are working according to plan. This is the most important thing. So, and I've not seen a dull moment, which is also very important. A dull moment would be when you now think, a guy is angry, or guy is this, a guy is not and all that kind of thing. It's because when you have
the Frenchman doesn't know what Oga means.
Boss, the boss. So if you have that kind of a situation, people are willing to work. And I'll have the opportunity of interviewing one or two of them. I don't want to start mentioning names again now. I said, look, what I missed the last 30 whatever years, I just pick it up just like that overnight. And that is that kind of a motivation, that kind of opportunity for me to expand on what I've gotten so far will make me to stay as long as possible, because I can share from the vision of this man. It's showing me, people say there's a light beginning at the end of the tunnel, but what she said to me is, the light is right from the beginning of the tunnel, the whole tunnel is lit, So I have seen nothing, and this is not packaging. Again, I've gone past the age of packaging anything. I have enjoyed every second, and some of the text messages I've sent out to friends and family is exactly what I can read out. I said to them, I've enjoyed every second of my stay here, and I'm still looking forward for the next. I think about 4 more days to go, and I look forward to seeing more. And I'll be able to report if there's anything that goes wrong. I will report back. I promise.
But you've also met people coming from other places, from other countries.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The people that I've gotten to meet different people, nice people. People probably I would have known it in another 20 years or whatever. They are around. I have in particular met a man who we just introduced each other, and I was about to have my lunch, and he saw he wanted to make it, and I just grabbed him. I said, "Sir, can you see that?" And he sat down, and guess what? And this is really this. And he sat down, and we started talking. In the process of our talking, we discovered that we are reading the same page. We were talking the same language. There's the same language, and our minds just met together, and we are really talking and talking. And every minute there's somebody coming in, and I keep abducting them and sit down. And by the time I look back, I've had almost about 7 or 8 people on the table, until when this gentleman came to join us, and then we now have a bigger group of people. And that is my style. And again, I want to say this. You see, it's very easy to operate when you have people of like mind. We have a situation back home where we have a very good leader, but surrounded himself with people that not share his aspirations, his dreams, and they're dragging him back. And I'm sorry, I might be referring to the current government in Nigeria, because I'm so angry that people still have to struggle not to have life. They still have to struggle not to have water. They still have to struggle not to have good roads. So, talking with the gentleman who is part Irish, part Hollandish, and part Nigerian. He's such a wonderful guy. It's just like mind one, to struggle, and then it just made like that. I will come up in about so many things we discussed, and we also joined you on the platform to discuss your project. All these are fantastic and good things that happened to me.
I would not say, okay, let me just don't make it personal. Dr. Shorunke, the person who insisted that you must meet with me and I must meet with you, what do you think moved him? Why would he take such a strong stand that you two must meet? And do you think he will be satisfied at the end of the day that he has done that?
That is my cousin. Is called me Uncle Body all the time. We are very far away, because when you look at it,
this in America.
Yeah, not even the 8-hour difference, but the distance, But we've been together. We know each other. He called me one day. I said to me, Uncle Body, I never want to miss your show. I always watch your different platform, because I also do Sky interview for other television stations in Nigeria regularly, TVC, Charles, and so on and so forth. I said, look, you cannot take this, your passion, your belief, your drive away. You can share with somebody. And I said, who do I share with now? This is the problem. I cannot go into politics in Nigeria without hiring talks. You can't do it. He said, I believe you. So what exactly are you offering me? He said, I know someone who you should go and see. And then he arranged a video call, which we had. And from there, I think we both got the belief that there's a need to come. And I must say, thank you very much, Ladi. I appreciate. I'm very happy.
Do you think it was the right judge? It was the right judgment?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying now that I'm so happy that I come, because all what I've seen so far is not only fabulous, it's fantastic, it's great. It's exactly because it's my cousin. He knows me. I know that wherever I ask you to go, you do not arrange any other thing than go and meet somebody who is a visionary person, and you can share with him. And so far, I'm also thank you very much, because the little time we've been together, we've been able to rub minds, we've been able to talk together, we've been able to agree on issues until this afternoon, when we were doing a little bit of old politics analysis. There's a slide that difference is so infinite, it's nothing, because it's the issue.
It's just a discussion.
Exactly. It's a question of who do you believe in and who you don't believe in. And so far, up to this seconds, I'm really enjoying myself.
So that man, your cousin, he would not be, because I think he has to hinge his own faith in the sense that he's not made a mistake by
no chance. There's not at all. That's what I said, that he had already told me, and he insisted that you go and check you out on the internet. And that's why I started by, from in my introduction, when I look at your blogs, when I look at your video clips and many things, all what you said at different times, and all whatever happened also. I now come to Ukraine and now see you in person. I don't think I saw you, in fact, the first day when I came, it was the second day.
Yes, sir.
And I now take time to see your move, watch the way you speak, the way you do things. But what I first recognized is that this man has put a structure in place. I came to the airport, somebody picked me up, and I got here. I see all your staff working according to their specifications and so on. And I said to myself, this is very unusual, because when you look at a government, a big apparatus, a big something, that the state cannot carry out regular instruction. The left, in most of the governments, in Africa especially, in Nigeria to be particular, do not know what the right thing is doing. They did not know when somebody that stole so much money, whether he's the one that stole the money, and when he absconded, and when he came back again, the president did not know anything. All these are little things that is short of they really didn't know what we are doing. So I've seen a difference. I can see alternative to that.
What is your motivation to be so passionate still at your age, and to be willing to work your socks out? What is your motivation? What's driving you at this age? People at your age don't get driven and be so. You are just like, first of all, you are looking 50. Secondly,
thank you. I'm going to reverse the age, because I'm now body where people do not want to. Yeah, that question is very good, Dr. Adelaja. I think I'm not going to say it's a mistake that I left Nigeria at a very tender age. I left Nigeria 1970. Today, I've been home, come back, been home. This is for 47 years. And if 47 years I've not changed me, changed my ways, changed my belief, and also ultimately that's not put into me that I should recognize how a nation should look like, then I'm doomed. That if I die, I might not even get nearer to anything. That I might just die off like that. So, but I have not been so fortunate. I had the opportunity when late Obafemi Awolowo was alive to be member of the House, see good places when he was alive, campaigning and so on and so forth. That's on record. That has always been my role model. That has always been the kind of a leader who has a vision. Because the people of my age today would that are professors, doctors, lawyers, and so on, attended the school of this visionary leader. And ever since, I don't know how many other people can show us what they've done.
Yeah.
And I've proven that to many people many times over. Because there was a time I have a friend who was to defend his thesis on the legacies of African leaders. And when he called me, he said, "But how do I go about this?" I said, "Just ask me what I want to chip in." And I gave him a formula. And he used the formula and come back to me and say, "Wow." What I said to him, I said, "Go and get white sheet of papers. And each paper you get, write the name of all the leaders in Africa, or even Nigeria in particular. Write their name and write in front of them what they have achieved." And he came back to me and said he wrote so many pages on our law. I said, "What about others?" Of course, we are not being, you understand me? I said, "I wrote so many things he achieved, and you also alluded to it in our interview. All what he achieved with very small or no, small margin of resources. And the resources there was just through agriculture, selling cocoa. Nothing more. There wasn't any oil. We don't have oil in the Western region then. And he succeeded to a great extent. And that's why I believe that with that kind of education I have, with that kind of opportunity I have to have been part of, when he was alive, and I now come back and see the amount of poverty staring at my face, the amount of things happening to ordinary people. And when I also look at the amount of resources, be it in the mineral resources and the human resources that we have, can you imagine if you have 10 of you in the country? But then again, you are doing it in such a way that these are things you can achieve in your own way. But then the good thing also that I'm sure there are so many professors in different areas of the endeavor who are willing to join hand with you, because that will be also part of what my job is going to be, to campaign, to enlarge, to make mobilize. You understand me? To mobilize people all over there, because we'll be talking about it on and on and again. So my vision, I've not been able to be in position to put it in a scope like this. So having you as a torchbearer, somebody that will lead me the way, will now make me to put more, to add more to what you are trying to contribute in any form. And like I said to Aaron, and I say, I don't want to take any part. I do not want to take any part. That it's very sad to find out that people are so suffering that they have no food. Things are very bad. Life is very bad for Nigerians. And it hurts me. It hurts me that people work, they don't have light, they don't have road, their children cannot go to schools, there are dead bodies there, and there's so many things that are going on in our country. And we have people who do not care about that, and that affects me. So when I see a young man like you who wants to do something, I want to give my life to it. I want to support you till the day I die. And that is a promise. And that is what is keeping me. So I've been making noise on television. And this is going to be shown all over the world. That we cry, we need a leader. We have leaders that need to have vision. The sovereign is too much. The sovereign is too much for an average person. That we have gone to a point of looking for another human being for rituals, to make money, to do dead things. And so I just want to wish you all the best, and like I said, I'll be there for you any day, anytime. If I have to come back to Ukraine again tomorrow, I'll be on my way. And you have to go to Nigeria, to even no matter how volatile the area is, I'm willing to go with you. And I'll tell you why. In my asking the question, there are people out there they are waiting for somebody to wake them up, to help them, because the suffering is too much. You look at the ID camp. How can you let or allow a 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old people that we claimed looming energy have no future? So in another 8 years, we will have generated so many armed robbers, so many Boko Harams, we will have replicated so many things. We are not doing what we're supposed to do. We have the brains, If you look at the issue of NASA, you look at this, you look at that, they are all Nigerians there. Why can't we bring them together? What is wrong with us? Why are we treating ourselves like this? And now you now have the issue of church. You ask me, I don't go to church. You now see some people, and we allow it to happen. Some people will collect people's tithe and whatever. What do they do with it? Buy a brand new car, buy houses in Dubai, enjoy themselves, and leave ordinary people. We behave like a coward. And that pains me. It hurts me to the bones.
But what you are saying is really disappointing to me, and I think it might be disappointing to you too. But I would like to ask you this last question.
Thank you.
And the last question is, you are someone that is exposed to meeting with a lot of Nigerians, and not just ordinary Nigerians, but Nigerian elite. You've met with this elite, and you've interviewed numerous number of them. And so, don't tell me that you've not been seeing many out of all these people you've been interviewing. What's the problem? You've not hasn't any one of them got a vision to go to turn? What? Don't tell me you've not been seeing many of them who are ready to hand over, to take over the country and and give the country direction. You've been interviewing some of the best Nigerians out there. So what is it? You've not found visionary, or what is it? Who are they? What is it? What are they thinking? What are they living for?
I've got a point that I've said to you. I'm not patronizing you, Sunday Adelaja. I am not patronizing you. I have not seen anything like this. And that is the truth. I want to be challenged. I want another video to come on the air and say, OTUNBA is saying, you are lying. That we have people who want to build roads. That we have people who have built roads. Or that we have people who have been feeding the orphans and making it possible for children to go to school. That people in the technical colleges have been paid, the schools have not been locked up for months. I want to be told that the basic things of life are provided for Nigeria, whether in the south, in the north, or in the east. People are suffering. Look at the road. Look at the economy. You have an elderly woman carrying loads for others in order to survive. So there's so many things that are wrong. But coming to your question, yes, as I do speak to my friends and people in government, but what did you see? They cannot do it. And it's a shame that some of them are highly educated. We have professors in the House of Senate, we have them in the House of Rep. What did they do? They sit down there, collect 29 million naira as their income, and do not take a fit that 18,000 naira, that when I get to Lagos, I need about 22,000 naira to charge my iPad. They don't even pay them. And they don't really care. So what are you talking about, Pastor? And the pastor that's supposed to redeem, to be the set of people, to be telling these people. And if I have a large congregation like that, I just said, you convince me that's something you can do. Because if I have access to a large congregation like that, I'll be using them as a tool, I'll be using them as a weapon to change the mindset of the people. They are not. Instead of changing the mindset of the people, they are winding them up, they are making them just to be more stupid in order for them to wrong them. And these are the issues, these are the things that make me to break down. These are the things that make me to be very, very angry. None of them will come up with this kind of plan. And that's why I said it and I want to repeat it. I'm very happy to be part of it as long as it's not going to be a political thing. As long as it's not going to be a political thing.
But you are still going to have people attacking you and say Pastor Sunday is known to be a critic and that is abusing elders in Nigeria and is rebuking, openly on TV, our religious fathers. And many people are angry and people don't want to listen to what Pastor Sunday has to say anymore just because of that. Because he's taking up issues with these men of God that he said he should go and talk to them at most, but never bring those issues out. We don't want to hear anything else he has to say.
My take on that is very simple. And I said it's part of when I took part in your daily broadcast. And I said, we're not going to be speaking the same language. You only look for people of like mind. You only want to do business with people who have the same vision like you. Yes, it is something 1,000 viewers. 7 people only say, why don't you call them and give them some beer to drink, or ask them to meet in an hotel and talk sense to them? Don't they know exactly what they are doing? They know exactly what they are doing. And I have people who will say to me, pastoring has turned to business. They're doing business out of it because that's where they get their daily bread, and they're doing everything possible to protect it. And I think it's sad because I think I have always, and I'm sorry, I have pastor friends who are also not like that. They are genuine, they are very helpful, they are doing the business of redeeming people. Yes, and it's only majority of these people are hard on their own people. So, for me, I am not saying this to get anything. I cannot say you've gone out of your way doing what you are doing, because you are the side of the truth. So if anybody say, why are you criticizing somebody who's stealing an handicapped income? I don't know what they want to get for that. So I can only say that please do not stop, continue. You must continue. It is too late for you now to say you want to go back. And of course, despite all the preaching of this, some people will say, Shebi, you say you don't go to church, you don't go to mosque. How do you know most of these verses? Yes, and I can share this also with you. My senior brother that died about 2 years ago, he was in the Jehovah's Witness for 62 years. I was just about 8 or 9 years when he died. And I laughed when somebody said, one of the pastors who was bragging that he has read the Bible, how many times? 36 times? And I say, must be a baby, because my brother must have done it about 200 times. Wow. He has no life. All what he stood for, all what he did in his life was reading Bible, quoting every part of the Bible, of it. So I have seen people, and I laugh when they say that I read the Bible how many times, you know. So you cannot stop. This is a business, and that's why I'm willing to go with you. I don't care what happens. But what I care for is at least the people get the correct dosage of fairness, justice, and equity. Because as we speak now, they're not getting anything. They are really, really not getting anything. You find a 17-year-old young woman hawking pure water or hawking different kind of medication, not going to school, being abused. So many things is wrong. So the only thing is, if I see somebody who now have a vision, who wants to make it better, like you, I keep saying like you, is because I can confirm, and I will continue to say this, I can confirm that you are a different person. We all have our problems, but at least that the mere fact that you want to do something without any gain, and you know what? Your reward is going to be exactly like that of our Lord, because 30 years on, when we are talking today, I make reference to some people, 30 years on, another 60, 70 years on, his legacy will always be there, because he concentrated on one thing, education. And here we have a government. For the masses. Yes, for the masses. And here we have a government that openly, deliberately, flagrantly, and do not care, allocating peanuts, money that is not enough to look after dogs in the UK. There are some allowances that go to dogs in the UK. And I have seen a situation where a dog was operated, hip replacement operation for almost about £11,000. There's no provision to spend £100 on any Nigerian or any African, or you go to Congo. No provision for £100 on one particular Nigerian, despite all these billions and trillions we're talking about. No! I want to be challenged. I want someone to say to me, what you are saying is wrong. That someone in Akwa Ibom is getting a regular benefit of this and that. Even it's scandalous to find out that children are still sitting on the floor. They're still not getting the desired and required support. So I want you to continue doing what you are doing. Yeah. Yes, I want to repeat, I don't go to church, I don't go to mosque, but still does not make me to be an atheist. I'm happy, I'm within an environment of somebody who his calling is not religion, yeah, his godliness is his key. That is where I stand.
that's all. I'm done.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
I've told you that I would like to be like you when I'm 70, to be as young, not just in body, but in soul, in spirit, to be full of vision, life, energy, clarity, body, readiness, eagerness, agileness, but it's so sad that Nigeria has not maximized that bodies before now.
And there are many of us like that. There are many of us all over the world. A country that has that kind of resources will have called themselves, will have said, I don't want generator in Asurok. I want the people that know about fixing light. And how much does fixing light cost? It costs nothing. Call the Koreans, call the Ukrainians, and come and fix light. How much is it?
But how come you've been here for 70 years? I don't think the
For
Nigerian government didn't notice.
For 7 years.
My life, I'm saying.
Oh, I see. They choose the people who they like to choose. And
The
for
problem
me,
didn't come across people like you.
yeah,
yourself.
well, do you see, I don't know whether we still have some minutes to go more. I can also share this again. It took me a long time to believe that corruption is so systemic. It's been there for even before I was born. Because my first ambition was to be in the Air Force when I finished my secondary school. And I've gone for recruitment selection at Ejiko Flat, Victoria Land. And from nowhere, we just said everybody must leave. You've not finished the selection now. And by the time some of us are saying, we are not going. So they now come with this horse whip. I have to jump the fence. Because the later on I now find out, many years after, that people, and the argument was, people who are shorter or whatever are not going to be recruited. Of course, this is the same height I have when you get to 19. The probability of you growing taller is not there. But many years after, I now discover that even people that are shorter than me are already been selected, are already been recruited. So I now start making inquiry, find out, and say, so you didn't give them anything before you go, and you want to be recruited. And again, I want to challenge most of the recruits, most of the people in the police have to pay before they get in. That is the truth. That is the truth. So the corruption thing is not yesterday. And that's why I pity the head of state on his own. He's a very nice person, he's morally compass, is not bad. But you cannot achieve your goal when you surround yourself people with shady characters, funny behavior towards commonwealth of the people. You cannot. Now look at what is going on in our judiciary. See what is going on in our legislation. People are just drawing the money. They will have the order for a car of 60, 70 million, even though they are going to ride it on the terrible rough roads. It makes me wonder, are we real? Are we normal? Because if you don't have vision how something should look like, there's a problem. If you have a house that you do not know how to organize it, that everything is lumped together, you can do that in your bedroom, but at least your sitting room should be properly put together. We don't, if we know that a country should have light, we would have gotten light. If we know that people should drink proper water, water should be given to people. If we know that good cars need a good road in order to enjoy the smoothness of your car, we would have good roads. There's so many things, long list of things we refuse to understand is because our vision is blurred. We cannot see beyond. And all what we want to do is just I have 7 cars. I have girlfriends, I have cars, I have, my children are in university or whatever, Manchester. I have 2 houses in Dubai. These are our priorities. Vanity. And we don't care what happened to somebody in Maiduguri or what happened in Ota. Or that I have, and my father is from Ota, that I look back at Ota and I say, this is not fit for dogs. Because Ota was not taken care of, because there's pothole everywhere, terrible thing. And I've watched police vehicle crushing a woman, 2 women dead on the road. So, in my setting out of the country probably could be a disadvantage in the sense that I've seen a different perspective. I've seen different things in life. I see how it's supposed to be, how it should be. That all my years in Europe, I don't know, unless there's a natural disaster, that the light is off. I've been in Ukraine and I say, is this a planned economy? That the light have not even. That is all. And which country wants to be successful, who wants to succeed in an economy that has no light, that has no energy? And see how billions, trillions of money spent. There's always one argument. There's always one discussion. There's always one reason. Are we for real? We are not. So, and this has happened to me, and I'm sorry I broke down again. It happened to me on most of my appearances on television in Nigeria. I mean, nobody's thinking, but at least I feel it. And I'm happy you share the pain with me. Because people, they just don't care. You see a dead body on the street, you say, that's not my, that's before. Why was it happening before? I want to take a lash on our great-grandfathers. They have not helped us. They are very callous people. 57 years of Nigerian independence, we are still crawling. There's something fundamentally wrong. And I just hope that your project, your program will help.
I'm sure so many people who are watching this are breaking down alongside with you. Even the ladies that are here, you see. Everybody using their tissue paper. Because you are touching, touching the soul. You are touching the soul.
I'm really sorry.
The depth of the matter.
You must have blood in your veins to feel what I feel. I think most of our people back home, they're either being fueled by petrol or by water. They don't have blood. They don't have feelings for other people. They don't have feelings for other people. When you see an elderly woman of about 60, even 70, doing a laru, what do you call a laru? Carrying things for others because of peanuts. They carry their children. Or like I said again, the president asked, how can some people go home and sleep not paying the salaries of their workers? These are the thing. So it's for me, it cannot be real. It cannot be real. What is happening in Africa? It cannot be real. That we cannot, you mentioned Botswana, you mentioned Rwanda. Yeah. And I jokingly said it's a small place. America is 350 million people. And the UK, there's no nationality that is not in the UK. They all get their benefit, they all get their, we all coexist. So what is argument of somebody is Muslim, somebody is Christian? They use it to divide us, to get the money. When it comes to sharing the money, you will not believe that somebody from Gongola is part of the sharing the loot. Somebody who from Ilorin or from Ibadan. Oh no, there's no problem in sharing the money. There's no religion coloration. There's no ethnicity. There's no all this nonsense when they are sharing the money of the people. And I think it's wicked. God will not forgive them. God will not forgive them. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And for the first time, I've not been. I had an interview when I was 70 with a pastor colleague, Dr. Shegun Johnson. He gave me an interview. I was able to talk. But otherwise, it's me that I've been asking questions. So this is very emotional for me. I want to thank you.
if you want to join the National Nigerian Transformation Project, please go to SundayAdelajablog.com/Nigeria. SundayAdelajablog.com/Nigeria. SundayAdelajablog, one word. .com/Nigeria. You'll see a page there. You'll see the video. You'll see forms. Fill out the forms if you want to join this movement. And tell us what you can do. What you like to bring on the table. If you want to write me personally, please write to pastor@godembassy, one word, godembassy.org. Well, OTUNBA is available everywhere. It's on television, it's on bank TV, sometimes.
I'm also Facebook, Twitter. My Facebook handle is OTUNBA Who, and my Twitter is at OTUNBA Who Latest. And I know that you can Google my name on everywhere you find me.
Heritage TV.
heritagetv.co.uk. And like I said, if you Google my name, you find me. And I'm willing to belong to any. But I think this train, we still have space, don't we?
Yes, sir.
We still have space. We still have rooms for people. And what I want to do is to bring on board as many people as I believe that are genuinely at my age, the younger one that they want to follow me. Like I said, I heard about 27 people say, nobody, Uncle Bode, but when are we going? That shows me they're willing to leave whatever they are doing to follow this mission. Because this is a mission with a vision. And we will get there. Thank you again.
Thank you,
For
sir.
giving me this opportunity, and I want to thank the staff, the people who have made this possible, and all the people I've met here. I want to extend my warm greeting to everybody. I wish them all the very best, and I hope as time goes on in life, by the time we start this business of transforming Nigeria, we all live long to enjoy. If it's possible, if not, there will be a preparation for our children to come.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll be back in an hour. God bless.